Hello, welcome to Hank's Maker Mentor. I have been working on creating printable magnets for my kids to use on their visual schedule and to make a visual packing list. In Design Space, I uploaded images that I wanted to print then cut, as well as SVGs of clothes that I applied the pattern to, and I'm going to print and cut those now. The designs are ready. We are going to walk through trying out this new material since I haven't worked with the printable magnetic sheets before, just so you can see how it is to work with from a beginner perspective. When you're considering trying a new material, you can check beforehand to see what blade the Cricut needs and if your Cricut is even capable of cutting that material. When you are in Design Space, if you go into the menu, there's an option to manage custom materials. This is available on desktop and iOS. You'll need to select which device because the different devices you have different capabilities. So today I'm using my Maker. It does need to be powered on and either connected via USB or Bluetooth. And you'll come up with this list of the materials that the Cricut can cut. There is no search function, so you will just have to kind of scroll through looking for what you need. I know that I am looking for magnetic sheet, and it has the 0.5 millimeter and the 0.6 millimeter. The package I got does not tell me how thick the sheets are. I think they're a little bit thinner, so I am gonna try using the 0.5 setting. It tells me what the cut pressure is and then how many passes it needs to make. When it's talking about these passes, it'll either say off or then a number. For this 0.5 magnetic sheet, it'll cut over all of the cut lines twice. For the 0.6 magnetic sheet, it'll cut over all of the cut lines 6 times. But there is also a difference between which blade. So with the Maker, it'll say fine point blade, deep point blade. You also have rotary blade. And depending on the material, there's also knife blade. I don't have a deep point blade, and I think mine is thin enough that I can do it on the 0.5 setting. If I find I do need to do maybe 4 or 6 passes with the fine point blade, I can create a new material so that way I can select that instead of just running it multiple times. But for now, we're just going to click done. I know I can fit 15 of these magnets on a sheet. I'm going to hide the rest of them by just grouping and then pressing the little eye icon in the layers panel so that I'm only working with 15. It's easier to only have to work with one page at a time as I'm trying to figure this out. Here on the map preview, you can see the black registration marks that form the box around the outside. That will not be part of the final design. It's just to let the Cricut know where to cut. The Explore series and the Maker have sensors that can read these lines to let them know where to start cutting. The Cricut Joy does not have that sensor, so you are not able to do print then cut on the Cricut Joy. I'm going to go ahead and click continue. My first step is to print it. So I can print it on the printer of my choice. So I'm going to go ahead and click send to printer. There is also the option of I've already printed, but that is not the case in this one. So this is the printer I want to print to. I only want one copy. I am going to turn off bleed since my edges are white anyway, so I don't need bleed on there. But I am going to tell it to use the system dialog to print because that way I can fine tune my settings a little bit better. So I'm going to click print. If your print dialog box doesn't show up here, you'll go ahead and take a look underneath your Design Space window. For my paper and quality, it is a letter size piece of paper. It's going to be in my main tray. And then I need to find what kind of paper type I want to put it as. The package I got does have a little bit of information that can help. It lets me know that I want the printer setting for heavyweight paper. So I'm going to go ahead and do thick paper, and I want my print quality to be the best. I know that my printer prints on the side of the paper that is face down. There it is right out of the printer. I think it looks really nice. I'm happy with the colors and everything. So let's go ahead and get it loaded onto the mat. Because this is a thicker material, I am going to use it on my strong grip mat. If you don't have a strong grip mat, you can definitely use it on a standard grip mat, and I'd recommend taping down the edges with painter's tape. When you're doing print and cut, you want to line it up to the very best of your ability in the top corner, and go ahead and make sure you get it all smoothed down, nice and secure. I'm really pleased it doesn't look like it smeared or anything when I touched it. This top edge is curling just a little bit, so I'm going to grab some painter's tape, even using my strong grip mat. Painter's tape is one of the things that even if you don't use it very often with your Cricut, it's super helpful to have in with your crafting materials so you have it when you need it. In Design Space, I'm going to go into Browse All Materials, and I'm going to search for Magnet. I'm actually going to cancel the cut because I forgot to give myself a way to do a test cut. So I'm going to add in a square and a star. This is a new idea I saw from another Cricut user where you take the square portion out and leave the star. That helps you know that the points will stay without a problem. So I'm going to attach those, and then I'm going to shrink it down to about 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to go back into Make It. I'm going to move it over so that it's still on my paper, but not going to interfere with my cut lines, because the cut lines are just shy of the 7-inch mark. They're about 6.5, 6 3/4. So this one can be right here in between the 7 and the 8, and we'll go into Browse All Materials and search Magnet. We're going to try the printable magnetic sheet. The star is not cut out all the way. The square did. So I'm going to click Edit, slide it down so it cuts in a new section, and click Done. And I'm going to try changing my pressure. So I can pop it out, and that's probably as good as I'm going to get. So I think I will leave it on the more pressure. I need to let it know that this time I have already printed it. Before I unload it, I do want to check and make sure that everything cut well. So they are all cut out and ready. This did leave quite a bit of dust on them and on my workspace, so I'm going to make sure I clean off my blade before I cut anything else. To do that, I'm just going to use that painter's tape I had and just grab it. Another common one is to take a ball of aluminum foil and to stick it in. I just don't have a ball of aluminum foil in here right this moment, so I'm just going to use the tape. Just be careful not to cut yourself. This was really nice and easy to work with. I'm really happy with it. This is not sponsored or anything in any way. I needed ones that I could create new ones that I needed, as well as matching the ones we already have that I had purchased as a huge pack off of Amazon, because my kids are familiar with these ones and I don't want to have to try and change to get them familiar with a different one. And then able to do the packing list so I can write a number next to the item and say, shorts, you need, 3 pairs for the trip. Do you have any projects that need magnetic photo paper? If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Go ahead and click Show More to see the links in the description for the products that I used today. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.